Welcome to the 33rd episode of Teachers Glasses Presents Bollywood Talkies with Outlook. I'm your host, Mitrajit Bhattacharya, and my guest tonight is a singer, record producer, and a music composer who, along with his equally famous partner, have composed some of the finest songs and biggest hits for modern Hindi cinema. Presenting one half of Bollywood's top music composer duo, Salim Suleiman. Salim Merchant, welcome to Teachers Glasses Presents Bollywood Talkies with Outlook.
Thank you, Mitrajit. And thank you for the warm welcome and the kind words. Thanks.
You have lent your voice to an amazing composition, Befizul, released recently. How did it come about?
Well, I just got a call from this very fine and talented composer called Sid Paul. And he was like, he was looking forward to working with me. And and I asked him why me as a singer. He said, "Bus, I just want to work with you. I love your voice." And because I'm not a sort of like a regular playback singer. I mean, mostly I've sung Salim Suleiman's songs. Um, and बहुत कम ऐसे like I've sung for Vishal and Shekhar, like
Yeah,
I've sung Ishq Wala Love, and
yeah,
and for I've sung that Pathshala song for Hanif Sheikh, Eh Khuda. A lot of people think it's Salim Suleiman's song, but no, it's composed by Hanif Sheikh.
right.
Yeah, Eh Khuda mujhko bata tu rehta kahan.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, I don't sing so much for other composers. Very very few. People who. So I always ask them that question: that why me?
By me.
And and he was very honest, and he said, no, there is a certain kind of honesty in your voice, and Befizul really needs that. And when I heard the song, and I read the lyrics, I really understood what him and Amber, the producer and the director of Gorilla Shots and the film Sniper, what were they actually aiming to do?
It's for a short film,
It's for a short
The
film.
Sniper, right?
That's right. It's called
Yeah,
Sniper from the series Gorilla Shots.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
cool concept. I like the whole short film format and what you're trying to say. Some really meaningful stories in the short film format, and every film has a song, which is a very nice thing. Sometimes it's a great way to put out a message. A lot of things which you don't need to show, you can't really say. You can
Right.
sing and you can express through music. So I understand the intent and the goal.
Can you hum a couple of lines from Befizul?
Yeah, sure. The song is brand new, so I'm just going to do it my own way, of course. So the song has a really meaningful lyrics. क्या खोया क्या पाया है बस नफरत का साया ये बेफिजूल and क्यों बहा है इतना खून बेफिजूल रग एक ही है हम क्यों गए भूल. I really love that line, but this is how it starts. क्या खोया क्या पाया बस नफरत का साया ये बेफिजूल बेफिजूल सरहद पे जो खड़े बेवजह ही वो लड़े बेकसूर बेफिजूल क्यों सुन ले अर्जी ये आखिर तेरी ही मर्जी है इस मिट्टी को लहू से कर दे रिहा उम्मीदों को दिलों से फिर मिला क्यों बहा है इतना खून बेफिजूल रब एक ही है हम क्यों गए भूल क्यों बहा है इतना खून बेफिजूल रब एक ही है हम क्यों गए भूल. Yeah, there's so much of this bloodshed and there's so much of all this stuff that is happening. And we all know that it's all a big money game ultimately, right? It's really sad that people die. And so I got the lyrics and I got the composition, and and I felt like I'll be able to express this. I was confident because I understood the the pain, the humanity problem that we are all going through, and it meant a lot to me. So a big thank you to the team. That powerful.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Salim.
Thanks, Mitra.
So, congratulations to Amber, Sid, and you. Yet another beautiful release on Republic Day.
Yeah.
You have had releases in the past on Independence and Republic Day, so the tradition continues. You just came back from Kashmir a couple of days ago, right? So, can you tell us what was happening in Kashmir?
Suleiman and me composed a song November 2020, and it's a beautiful love song which has a kind of a Qawwali touch to it.
Okay.
And I wanted a fresh voice, and I got Salman Ali, the Indian Idol, got him to sing this song, and he sang it so beautifully. While composing the song, I was imagining the snow. फिर मैंने कहा कि यार, it's not going to be possible for me to. The only place I can go to shoot now in this whole COVID situation is Kashmir. But then I thought, Kashmir, I don't know how it's going to be. After 370, I don't know how the situation is, what's going on. And just by chance, I came across a very interesting filmmaker. First week of January, I came across a filmmaker from Kashmir called Tasadduq Hussain. I
Okay.
saw one of his music videos, and I was really amazed. Very stunning music video, beautifully done. I thought the guy has got a great eye for films, and he shoots, directs, and edits himself. So I reached out to him, and he said, "Bhaiya, aap aa jao. It's Jannat right now. It's beautiful. It's snowing." And I'm like, "Yes, I wanted the snow while composing the song. I was imagining the snow." And I've never been to Kashmir, so I was really like tempted to do this. And I said, "You know what? Let's just go for it."
Where did you shoot in
We
Kashmir?
actually shot because I needed the snow, and we needed like that beauty and the mountain and the hilly stuff. So we went to Pahalgam because that's a
Okay.
pahad area,
Yeah.
and we shot in Pahalgam most of it. Then we shot the last part in Dal Lake, at the Dal Lake in Srinagar,
Okay.
and it was completely frozen. It's been 40 years since it's been frozen. The last it got completely frozen was 40 years ago. So this winter was really, really harsh, and very few portions of the Dal Lake were not frozen. It was like, I would say, 90% frozen. So, but it's quite stunning.
So, when do we see this getting released?
The song is called Tumhe Dekh Ke. Uh,
Okay.
Tumhe Dekh Ke Lagta Hai. So the title is Tumhe Dekh Ke, and I was hoping to release it in the first week of February, just before the Valentine's festivities, and where a lot of love songs release. So I thought Suleiman and I will release our version of what a love song could be.
You still can catch the deadline?
I think the video should be ready in the next couple of days,
Okay.
and then we'll just give some final touches and probably release it in the first week of Feb.
Super. Let's go back in time. Your family hails from Gujarat, though you were born in Mumbai.
Yes.
Your father, elder brother, and your partner Suleiman all are musicians. When did you two decide to pursue music commercially?
We actually, honestly, it was a very kind of a progression. Like my first job as in the industry was for a Gujarati play, where a composer called Piyush Kanojia called me to do a little musical thing. I was only 14 years old, yeah. And what I did as a musician there in that Gujarati play, that sort of kind of spread out in the industry, that there are these two kids.
How old were you then?
I was 14 years old, and I was just in school then.
Yeah.
But
So
right
you were 14 and Suleiman was 18.
17. He's 3 years.
17. Yeah. Okay.
And then Suleiman and me sort of did like an album together when I was just
Yeah.
17 years old. It was called Raga Raga, and that album sort of it featured the legendary KS Chitra, from South,
Right.
from Chennai, and she was, and then the word spread out that these two brothers who were really talented, and people started calling us, for recordings and stuff like that, and from recordings. And also Suleiman is elder, so it should have been Suleiman Salim, but people just started calling us Salim Suleiman, just
Yeah.
it sounded
Yeah. Sounded more in sync.
sounds
Yeah.
more musical. So yeah,
Yeah.
people just started calling us, and we started playing for, Suleiman started playing for Lakshmikant Pyarelal ji.
Okay.
I started doing a couple of recordings for them and Amar Haldipur, and then from there Anu Malik, and whatever, as musicians. Karte 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 karte, uh, we were doing a lot of ads also, and then
Right.
from the advertising thing, Sanjay Gupta once approached us that you guys do background score. I said we've not never done it, but let's do it. So we did a background score for the movie called Hamesha, which
Okay.
featured Saif and Kajol
Right, 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 right.
back in '93.
Do you remember your early successes as Salim Suleiman, which kind of announced your arrival as music composers?
Actually, our first film was Pyar Mein Kabhi Kabhi, which featured Dino Moria and Bipasha Basu, which was I think in '97 or '98. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah.
'98.
Yeah.
And then in 2000, I think we did a background score which was Bhoot. I think in 2001 maybe we did Bhoot,
Yeah.
and then 2002 or 2003 we did Ab Tak Chappan. So these are just background
Right.
scores. But then Soham Shah
Right.
approached us for Kal, and
Right.
he said, "Ki yaar, Salim, I want you guys to do the background score. But there's one song in the film. Would you give it a shot?" I said, "Of course." So we attempted Tauba Tauba Ishq Mein Kariyan, which is like a qawwali, and that song Karan Johar really liked, and we really promoted that. And then he wanted us to do another song called Kal Kal Mein Dhamal Kar Gaye. It was called Kal Dhamal, which was Shah Rukh's sort of a feature on this film, and people started talking about us, and we started getting more calls for films, and Aditya Chopra called us for Neil and Nikki, and then
Yeah.
he offered us Chuck the India.
So you have also been a judge for a couple of seasons of Indian
Yeah,
Idol, and
yeah,
I think you also mentored in The Voice India.
that's
So
right.
my question is, do you enjoy judging music reality shows, and how serious are these platforms in identifying commercially successful singers of the future?
I think it's a fabulous, platform, because this is a great zaria, a great medium for a lot of artists to show their talents, and rightly so. Even Salim Suleiman Live, the live band which we have, which we are really, really like a big act all over, and we do a lot of concerts, all kinds of things, devotional, ticketed, college, all kinds of concerts, and some private things as well. So we even in our band we have Vipul Mehta as a singer, who is the winner of Indian Idol in 2012. So I
Right.
am a big supporter of these talents. Bhumi Trivedi, even, she's
Yeah.
fantastic, and Raj Pandit, who's an amazing singer also and part of Salim Suleiman. So yeah, all these young budding beautiful singers are really like their starts, their beginnings were from these reality shows, and I'm a big huge supporter of these
So
talents.
what do you say to the naysayers, like people who do not really believe in this show, saying it's all rigged and stuff? So what's your message to them?
I think, see, look, I always look at the glass half full, and
Okay.
we must know that yes, first of all, there's nothing rigged. There's nothing rigged. Okay,
Okay.
all these stories are all false, because I've been a
Yeah.
judge on the Indian
Right.
Idol, and I've been a
Five
judge.
and six, I think. No, season 5 and season
Yes,
6.
absolutely. Season
Yeah.
5, 6, and 7, which was
Oh.
the
Okay.
juniors, the who
Yeah.
was the Indian Idol junior. Nothing is rigged.
Okay.
Everything is. कई कबार ऐसा होता है कि the singers who are from smaller backgrounds, when I'm saying a smaller backgrounds, they're from smaller towns, and they get more votes, and they get more
Right.
support from
Right.
there.
The underdogs.
Yeah, they get a lot of love and
Yeah.
support from their towns, because they all
Yeah.
vote and stuff like that. So
Right.
it's also a lot to do with the voting and the supports, and it's
Right.
50%, the judges call, and
Yeah.
50%, the people's call. So yes, sometimes a lot of talents, good talents, get eliminated. But honestly, I always believe that if the person is talented, like I know a lot of singers who've not made it
Yeah.
on the reality shows, but I have made it. Arijit Singh is the best example.
Yeah.
Arijit Singh never made it,
He
in
was
that
sixth.
same Gurukul.
Yeah.
He was out, but look at him. He's like the number one singer, तो इसमें क्या होता है कि there are two things, मेहनत and किस्मत. किस्मत का भी बड़ा हाथ है इसमें.
Right.
Of course, your hard work is very distinct, but a lot is to do with the luck as well. And a lot of singers do a lot very well. I mean, they may not be singing playback songs, but they're doing a lot of shows. They're doing a lot of
Right.
concerts. They're winning a lot of
Right.
hearts. So I
So
support this movement.
super. What's your take on music labels' obsession with remixes of songs?
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I hate it. I condemn it, and I feel that it has to now get over. I mean, haven't we had enough? It's like done to death now. It really needs to stop. Look, it's a very simple, easy business that old song people can identify quickly. So let's remake it. So there's like that kind of familiarity and, whatever. People don't have the time right now to listen to, anything new. But as a label, as if you're not going to support new talent and creative minds to make new music, how much are you going to remake? This
Right.
has to stop. This is like completely like not happening. I'm absolutely against it. And you'll not believe this that I mean, Suleiman and me have actually started a label.
The music industry is split through the middle due to serious differences and public spats between veteran singers and music labels, top music labels. What exactly is the debate and where do you stand in it?
It's a music business, is a simple business. These labels have signed these artists,
Right,
X amount of artists. Now, obviously, if a veteran singer who's really, really popular and who's an amazing singer sings it, um, sometimes their songs get dubbed because the labels want their artist to sing it. Now
right,
that because there is a certain thought, there's a certain business thought around it, because they get
right,
these labels, they get a percentage
right,
from their live business, from these
right,
artists' live business. So
right.
obviously they want to make sure that their artist who they've signed, they sing the songs. And according to them, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
According to them, according to the label, is not there's nothing wrong. They have
right,
the right to choose. What's sad is these labels are also have also become producers now and become distributors and
right.
become studios. So they control a lot. They control a
Yeah,
lot of stuff that goes out to the people. Okay.
right.
The producer no more, the director no more, the music director absolutely no more has any call or any say here, because the label is also the
The
producer and the
producer.
distributor. So
Right,
it's a game of power. Simple as that. Fortunately, independent music has risen and has come to a good this thing where there's a lot of people who are listening to independent music. But there again, these labels who are doing the film stuff are controlling a lot because they are releasing a lot of independent music themselves
right, right, right.
outside the film world. So as a result, we don't listen to those beautiful voices that we all really love to listen to. We
Yeah,
don't listen to those beautiful songs, those timeless melodies that were created last decade or even like 5 years ago. Because it's a very simple business to remake a song, which is kind of easy to do, and it's a straight away hit because it's familiar with the audience.
so my question is that simple question is I understand this where the problem lies, but then why make a veteran singer sing and then use some other artist? I mean, why can't you have that respect for a singer
Brilliant
who's
question.
given 20 years or 15 years of his life? Yeah. Oh,
Fantastic question. Well, it's firstly the composer who decides that I should get the veteran singer to sing it because
okay.
it's his
So
or her choice to when he composes or she composes the song, they want that veteran singer to sing it because obviously he or she will get that value and the
right,
melody and the
right,
voice. But then once the label listens to it, they say,
right.
hey, let's change the singer. Let's
Yeah.
get our singer. So this is the game which has been going
Okay.
on for the past 3-4 years, and it's
Yeah.
really changed a lot of things.
So how is your new label? Obviously, we know the reason why you have gone indie and kind of you've now launched your own Salim Suleiman label. So one is how has the journey been, and what kind of music are you looking at promoting?
Basically, first of all, the label is called Merchant Records, and
Right,
we launched it during the lockdown. But actually, Suleiman and I have started releasing songs for the past 6 years. We've been
right,
since 2014 and 2015. We've been every Eid we release a song.
right,
We released one during Holi as well, and when we release songs sometimes when we are going through certain breaks in our live concert tour thing. Like we did a series called Lost in Love a couple of
right,
years ago in 2019. So we do release songs, but we wanted to bring some more. We want to give back to the creative society, to the artist, especially to the artist who really, really have no godfathers and
yeah,
out here. So there are lots of singers who I discovered during this Instagram live sessions during the lockdown. There's a lot of people who were on my radar who I wanted to do songs with. And, I felt like this is a great thing to sort of structure something. We were anyway doing songs on our own and releasing it through our not so structured label. But we thought this time we'll structure a label
Right.
so that we have a proper distribution thing with radio and with with all these OTT platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Ghana,
Yeah.
JioSaavn, etc. So
Yeah.
now it's a proper kind of a pipeline that we release songs on YouTube and on audio platforms and on radio. It's a simultaneous release, and we work with different artists. Some are really mainstream, established. Some are absolutely brand new. People can come and release their songs through our labels. Through our labels, they can come up with a brand new song, or they can sort of work on a song with us as an idea, and we can develop it.
You are a terrific singer. I know you don't sing for other composers as much as we would want you to, but you're a super terrific singer.
Thank you.
And first question is, what are your favorites as a singer? And can you please sing a line or two? I'll give you the song. You can choose.
Okay.
You can say Chak De India, which is the unofficial sports
And
anthem of India. Shukranla, Awe Awe, Ashae, Rab Rakha, Ishq Wala Love. I mean, you've really entertained us with your voice. So
okay, I'm going to do a song which is not from this list.
okay.
हिम्मती अता करो वो मददगार मौला अली मौला अली मौला वो मौला अली मौला अली आप ही हो कुव्वते परवरदिगार मौला अली मौला अली मौला अली मौला वो मौला अली मौला अली मौला ओ शाहे मर्दा शेर अज़दा जाफिदा तुम पे मौला अली मौला अली मौला अली मौला वो मौला अली मौला अली मौला अली मौला अली मौला अली अली अली
And just a couple of lines of a romantic number.
Shukran Allah walhamdulillah. Shukran Allah walhamdulillah. Shukran Allah walhamdulillah. Shukran Allah walhamdulillah. नजरों से नजरें मिली तो जन्नत सी महकी फिजाएं लब में जो लब छू लिया तो आसमां से बरसी दुआएं ऐसी अपनी मोहब्बत ऐसी रूही इबादत हम पे मेहरबान दो जहां शुक्र अल्लाह वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह शुक्र अल्लाह वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Name your personal favorites among yesteryear singers, current singers, and some of the new talents you have spotted recently.
My favorite composer, all-time favorite composer, is the legend Madan Mohan Sahab. My all-time favorite singer, I must say, is Muhammad Rafi Sahab. And my current favorite singer, who's mind-blowing and equally like amazing, in my opinion, is Sukhwinder Singh.
Obviously, you have combined with Sukhi Paji for
many songs.
Many songs, including Chak De. Who have been your inspirations in your journey to the top?
My father, most definitely. He was a guy who, multi instrumentalist, incredible human being, great person, and uh, you know, absolute motivator. And then Ustad Zakir Hussain.
Okay.
These two human beings have been huge in my life and my career. Zakir Bhai is an incredible incredible musician and composer. We all know that, but what makes him my hero is the great human being he is.
So, work that you're most proud of as composers, your own work.
There are multiple things. As background score, my most favorite background score which we've composed is Ab Tak Chappan. And my favorite song which we've composed, my favorite is Ye Hausla from the movie Door. And I also am very proud of the fact that we got to compose a song for one of the anthems for FIFA World Cup 2010. That was a landmark in our career. It was indeed.
So, what I've done is I've chosen 10 standout movies,
Hmm.
movie albums of Salim Suleiman.
Yes.
Talk about satisfaction, challenges, some BTS moments of composing for them. So I'll go one by one. You can just talk about a line or two of
Sure.
what comes to your mind as when I talk about those movies. The first one is Band Baja Barat.
I'll give you a quick line.
Yeah.
This Evi Evi Ludgia, that song, basically
Yeah.
was not going to be there in this film because the director hated this song. Luckily, that changed because when Aditya Chopra, the producer, heard it, he said, "I don't know about your film, buddy, but this song is a super hit song and you've got to keep this in the film." I mean, I can give you a lot of other trivia, but let's leave it at that.
Chak De India.
We did 7 different versions of the title song. I almost gave up the film because I was done with it. I didn't want to do it because after doing 7 attempts, I didn't
Okay.
want to do the 8th
Yeah.
attempt, which was
Yeah.
terrible, and I was clueless.
Yeah.
Then I called Jaideep, and Jaideep wrote this line, "Kuch kariye, nas nas meri khole." That's where things started, you know.
It was not there in the beginning.
He wrote that line, and then I
Okay.
composed, "Kuch kariye, nas nas meri khole, hai kuch kariye." That's how it started.
Aja Nachle.
When we got called by the producer Aditya Chopra, he said, "I want to do the film. I want you guys to do the music for a film called Aja Nachle. It's Madhuri Dixit's comeback film."
That's right.
At that point, they didn't have a story even. They only had Madhuri Dixit's dates. And we started working on the music. We made Ore Pia. Ore Pia, hey, Ore Pia, Ore Pia. We made this song without a story, without any brief. So we started making the songs because we didn't have a story. They only had Madhuri Dixit's dates. That's a trivia.
How can you even do that for a movie?
Because
It's very
they were
interesting.
constructing I mean, they had a broad story that there's a
Yeah.
girl, there's a lady who's married and who's moved to America, whose marriage didn't, sort of was not
Yeah,
successful.
yeah, yeah,
But she comes back to India to save her guru's theater. That's it.
right. Rab de Bana Di Jodi.
It was, I went to Amritsar for a couple of days to just soak in the power of the Golden Temple before we started working on the music.
Anything else you would like to add?
Well, it's a long story. I mean, Hole Hole Ho Jayega Pyar was a line which was part of the story. It was
Okay.
actually part of the script. And Shah Rukh says that Tani partner, Hole Hole Ho Jayega Pyar. He actually says that. So it was amazing. I've told Aditya Chopra that this should be the title of the song.
So, couple of lines. If
जरा जरा वक्त तो है दिन रात चल फिक्र न गोली मार यार मैं दिन जिंदड़ी दे चार हौले हौले हो जाएगा प्यार चलिया हौले हौले हो जाएगा प्यार हौले हौले हो जाएगा प्यार चलिया हौले हौले हो जाएगा
Kurban.
Kurban was incredible. I mean, I had a proper script in my hand, which is very rare for a movie.
Because it was by, I think, Renzel, right?
Renzel is
Renzel
a script writer, so he had a
Ah.
scene to He had a scene breakdown, and everything was so
Yeah.
planned and professional. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's the reason why I think it was probably one of our most loved
Yeah.
music films.
Yeah.
Even though the movie didn't get the love it deserved,
Yeah.
but the songs
Totally
truly.
agree. Ladies versus Ricky Bell.
Oh my God, we had a very tough time composing the music for that film because we did one song again, the title song. It was called Ladies Man. Terrible song. Everything was set. The shooting was going to happen of that song, and I requested that, listen, please, can we just try a new song? And they stopped the shooting, and we had a meeting with Aditya Chopra and the director, and he's like, please think of a different other. I told him, please give me a different brief, and he said, यार बहुत simple है. This guy ना, ये जो बंदा है, जो hero है इस film का, वो आदत से मजबूर है. He loves to con. I said, आदत से मजबूर is a beautiful title, and I started. बच के जरा जरा शैतानियां मेरी, ऐसे शुरू हो गया गाना पूरा. क्या करूं ओ लेडीज मैं हूँ आदत से मजबूर, हो क्या करूं ओ लेडीज मैं हूँ आदत से मजबूर. So we wanted ladies also, and we wanted Adat Se Majboor also. So I just kind of combined the two.
But you're so correct because what stays on is those three words, Adat se majboor.
And I just
That's
I just picked it up from Aditya Chopra's brief. He said, "Yeah, it's very simple. Yeah, banda jo hai wo Adat Se Majboor." I'm like, got it, bingo. We have the song.
the next two movies are my very close friend Nagesh Kukuno's Iqbal and Door. So you talk about Iqbal first.
Yeah, that was he just told me it's such a simple thing. He told me that I want a very hopeful song, Salim, very hopeful song. So I mean, like, I just thought of the word Asha because the hope is Asha, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just had like Asha, ra 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 ra, Ummide hara, ra ra ra, and Irfan just wrote the lyrics. आशाएं खिले दिल की, उम्मीदें हंसे दिल की, अब मुश्किल नहीं कुछ भी, नहीं कुछ भी. He heard it and he loved it. He said, "Wow, this is my song," and it was really like a beautiful thing. Like it was just done in one day. We made the song.
Door.
Door had a very interesting story because when we first made this song, it was. एक तरफ तेरी धड़कन थी, सांसें है तेरी दूजी ओर, मौला मेरे टूटे ना ये डोर. So we made these lyrics. एक तरफ तेरी धड़कन थी, सांसें है तेरी दूजी ओर, मौला मेरे टूटे ना ये डोर. Nagesh didn't like this song. He felt it was too sad. And obviously, if you remember where this melody went,
Yeah.
no good song goes for a waste. So I used it in Chak De, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, we made a happy song, which was more motivational and had a travel feel. ये हौसला कैसे झुके, ये आरज़ू कैसे रुके, मंजिल मुश्किल तो क्या, धुंधला साहिल तो क्या, तन्हा ये दिल तो क्या. Had a very happy, positive vibe. So yeah, and Shafkat took it to the next level.
Fashion.
Oh, fashion. Madhur Bhandarkar, when I met him, he said, "Look, buddy, I don't know much about music. I just know that I want you guys for the movie. So, tu music tere hisab se kar." I said, "Superb, yeah. That's,
Best
very,
brief.
very, very honest and very straightforward and very good for us because we made songs like Barjama, तेरे इश्क में मर जावा. So songs like that, I mean, it just happened because we had the freedom to do it. And even like कुछ खास है कुछ पास है कुछ अजनबी एहसास है कुछ दूरियां. So these songs just happened because we had the freedom and the open canvas to paint it, and I guess it is what it is because of
The last of the 10, Mardani.
Mardani was a tough film because when I saw it, it was very, very difficult. I don't even know whether this film needed a song, but Adi was very and Pradeep Da was very, very. They were very sure that they wanted the last end titles to be a very powerful song. I wanted something with the song to have. Of course, Sunidhi Chauhan sang it, but we used a shloka there, which had the Shakti shloka, which is very, very relevant to the women empowerment and the power of the woman, and very interesting choice of um, bringing this shloka in. And I think I mean I had a great time working with Dada, because Dada was it was musically and
Yeah.
creatively such an open and
Yeah.
Such a great personality. I had a great time working with him.
So my last question before I move on to the short answer segment is, what about Umrao Jan? You're working on some.
It released last year.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to do a musical
Right.
theatrical.
Talk a bit about the same.
So we did one called Beyond Bollywood about 5 years ago that released that actually opened at the West End London at the
Right.
Lady. But that was a dance show. It didn't have live singing. It didn't have live musicians. It was my dream to create a proper West End style musical with singing, live musicians, and so we really worked hard in 2017 and 18 to bring a show in 2019 called Umrao Jan Ada, the musical. Pratibha Singh plays Umrao Jan, and she's a fantastic singer. She sings, all the music is live, some is pre-recorded, but most of the musicians are live on stage, and all the singing is live. And we did a season in Delhi, we did a season in Mumbai. 2020, we had so many plans to travel the world, including do some more cities in India. But luckily in 2020, in January, we did West End, and we did a houseful season in London West End.
So wish you all the best with Umrao Jan Ada in future. I'm sure it has a life which is going to go on for a few decades.
Yeah,
maybe,
indeed. Indeed.
So just last part of my interview with just 5 short answers I need.
Go on.
Favorite concert location in the world?
London, Wembley.
A location you would love to perform, where you have not performed yet?
Similar, London, Wembley. Or the O2, again, London.
Okay. Concert superstitions. Do you have any superstitions?
No, not really. I don't.
Favorite city in the world?
It's a tough one. I have 3. It's Mumbai, London, and New York.
Places on your bucket list. You can name 3.
I've been already to Maldives, but I want to go again. I've been to Istanbul again already, but I want to go again. I'd like to go to Stockholm. I've never been.
Thank you, Salim, for talking to me on Teachers Glasses Presents Bollywood Talkies with Outlook. Take care, stay safe, and see you super soon.
It was beautiful. Thank you so much. I think it's a fabulous, platform, because this is a great zaria, a great medium for a lot of artists to show their talents, and rightly so. Even Salim Sulaiman Live, the live band which we are really, really like a big act all over, and we do a lot of concerts, all kinds of things, devotional, ticketed, college, all kinds of concerts, and some private things as well. So we, even in our band, we have Vipul Mehta as a singer, who is the winner of Indian Idol in 2012. So I am a big supporter of these talents. Bhumi Trivedi, even, she's fantastic, and she... and Raj Pandit, who's an amazing singer also and part of Salim Sulaiman. So yeah, all these young, budding, beautiful singers are really like their starts, their beginnings were from these reality shows, and I'm a big, huge supporter of